Well, hello everybody and welcome back to the channel, friends. We're getting into that rarefied air. The last two announced episodes of Star Trek Lower Decks. Fingers crossed this isn't the last we see of this beloved crew and ship. But today we'll be watching the penultimate episode of Season 5, Episode 9, FISSURE QUEST. Nothing to it but to do it. Before we get started, friends, if you could do me a huge favor and hit that like button, smash that subscribe, ring that bell for notifications. It greatly helps out a small channel and it allows me to alert you next time we go live. And of course, if there's anything that we do that you would like early or in its full-length format, the link to our Patreon is in the description. But that's then. This is now. And now it's time to enjoy the final two announced episodes of Star Trek Lower Decks as we watch Season 5, Episode 9, FISSURE QUEST. Prepare to engage maximum warp reaction. And for the second to last time this series, away we go! So they're keeping with the same formula. It looks like with FISSURE QUEST being the title here, we're going to have the two-part end to the season.
Maybe take a break since we're...
Full beard. I'm good now, even though he's trying to be somebody else, which is why I always hated it.
I'm okay. Since when can that thing shoot plasma?
It's not supposed to.
Ooh, something's going on.
You have experienced duplication?
Oh yeah, he got transporter cloned. The other one called himself William to kiss Riker's butt, but then he got killed by some random gas.
Or...
Yeah, I mean, if he were still around, I bet he'd be in some huge adventure. I wish I could have seen it.
well, he's with Section 31, so I guess we're going to. Also, it looks like Rutherford gave up on the beard. Quantum reality? Oh, God.
Captain's log, William Boimler of the Anaximander, stardate...
Captain. I mean, obviously.
While I'm not authorized to name the organization that faked my death and sent me diving into rifts, I can talk about my crew of interdimensional castaways. T'Pol, my Vulcan first officer.
I was going to say, that's T'Pol from Enterprise.
My tactical officer is Curzon Dax, from a reality where he hasn't yet passed his symbiont to Jadzia. Elam Garrick, a brilliant Cardassian surgeon. And his husband, an emergency medical hologram based on Dr. Julian Bashir.
Really?
There is a Starfleet escape pod. I am reading a single life form.
Who will it be? Neelix with a crew cut? Really big Spock?
Really big Spock. That's from the animated series, I think.
Most of the crew are Harry Kims.
Oh, who's this handsome guy? Hey, Harry. The Kim crew is thriving. High five, baby.
So, okay, we're in the credits, so we're going to focus on this team. Now, of course, this is where my limited knowledge of Star Trek starts to play in. Now, I do know enough via just being around Star Trek at this point. I know the Dax reference as far as the person that initially, before the events of Deep Space Nine, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, I'm surely am, gives their symbiote to a new host, and that new host is the one that gets onto DS9. Because I think I saw the first episode of DS9, and that's where I think that Cisco knew that version, the older version, before being transferred, the host being transferred. Now, I do know T'Pol. I've seen the entirety of Enterprise, so I do know who T'Pol is. But again, from a dimension where she was married to Trip Tucker for decades, that didn't occur in ours. I know that. So everything has a bit of a what-if quality to each of these people that they're naming. Now, the Kardashian, I did not know. I know Julian Bashir. I know he's the doctor from Deep Space Nine. But I did not know or recognize the Kardashian that did a Cardassian, not Kim and crew.
I thought the dimensional rifts were natural occurrences. Who exactly are you chasing?
We don't know, but someone has it out for the multiverse.
There's more than 2 dimensions?
Starfleet believes that there are an infinite amount of quantum reality.
I thought you just ignored him.
It's like a bubble bath, but the bubbles are universes.
The ship we're chasing is ripping open the bubbles.
Interesting.
Because they're probably a hacky evil version of someone we all know. A reverse Picard or Borgified Kirk or I don't know, Human Worf. It's just lazy, derivative remixes!
I tend to agree with non-bearded Boimler.
In some dimensions, I'm a tailor.
Are they from the same reality?
Oh, I do know who he is then.
Lovers never fall out of the rifts for Curzon.
Did your Voyager get back to Earth, or did you, like, settle in the Delta Quadrant? We got back.
Nice.
This Kim's got 2 Pep! Wait, you're all still ensigns? That's f***ed up!
It really is.
Is it your shoulder again?
I do know him. He was the tailor on Deep Space Nine. I know like a peripheral dusting of Deep Space Nine.
Our future home reality is still up in the air.
My shoulder still has a knot.
Well, then it's a pity your Bolian isn't here to help.
Something just rocketed through the rift.
A Starfleet shuttlecraft. Its engines are critical.
They must have been traveling at warp. Emergency transport, now!
Did you get him? Oh my god.
Mariner! Whoa! What in the... What? Where am... How did it... Boims, I think that's T'Pol.
Engineering, eh? Or security?
Do you have a Tendi and a Rutherford?
Yeah, but I haven't seen them in ages.
Oh.
Oh, he's the best. Still an ensign, gets in his own way. He wears a leather jacket at all times, which is weird, but we're used to it. Like he sleeps in it.
He sleeps in it.
Yeah, right. I am not really a fan of danger, or away missions, or anything that involves phasers. I'd rather be tinkering with plasma coils. What's with the look?
He's falling in love with you.
How have none of you ever been promoted? You know, I guess between all the Borg infiltrations and aliens trying to steal our organs, it didn't seem like that big of a deal. Everybody gets promoted before ops. It's like nobody knows what we do.
Oh, great. My favorite Vulcan.
I was married to a human for 63 years. I know sarcasm when I hear it.
I love it.
You should be consuming that much sodium.
What do you even know about the Trill diet?
I know that you carry the Dax symbiont, which must be protected for its next host, of which there is none on the Anaximander.
You smug Vulcan patak.
Your anger masks the fear that I am correct.
Right.
I live life to its fullest, so the next Dax can actually learn something.
Sodium is not a full life.
Maybe it is for me, damn it!
No warping or they make your engines explode.
Ugh, yeah, that was bad. But the good news is, now I know how to track the guy who's screwing up the multiverse.
What?
Back on my Cerritos, I was trying to figure out why our entanglement processor kept needing a reset. Turns out, something was f***ing up the superposition.
Like how she still drops the fucking.
Conservation of energy. Each universe has a finite amount. If you create a rift,
another must open to accommodate the energy being pushed out.
Interesting.
every rift they open creates a huge influx of radial tachyons. But if we recreated those levels first,
it would force their next rift to open right here. Mariner, you're a great engineer.
Why do you sound so surprised?
Sorry.
Well, you should be surprised I'm captain.
Radial tachyon levels are still rising.
The trap is set.
Great episode so far.
Show yourself.
Are the shields raised? Because this is feeling like a calm before the storm type sitch.
Who's coming through? It'll be them.
Mariner's plan appears to have been successful.
Is that a Vulcan craft?
Direct hit! They don't have shields.
They're opening another one.
They are attempting to escape by creating a new rift.
Tractor beam. Are they in front of you? Is that them? See a blue dot and a gold dot.
We got a battle damage Kim here.
These Harry Kims are stronger than they look. He'll be fine.
Stronger than they look.
You can't just unilaterally decide that we're moving to your reality. It's not fair.
I let you choose what I had for dinner last night.
Well, that doesn't equal a lifetime. Hopefully your emotions enjoy sleeping on the ground tonight. This hologram will be in bed, alone.
What kind of ship is that? I mean, the ring design makes me think of Vulcan, but...
I don't think that's such a good idea in the rift.
This is our only chance.
Jax, wait!
Woo! Yep, all kinds of energy feedback.
Please tell me they didn't get away.
Thanks to Curzon's insubordination, they were forced to make an emergency landing.
Good.
Good.
Take us down. We have repairs of our own to make.
Don't glare at me. We got them.
We f***ing better.
No shit. You didn't listen, dude.
Oh, he's a big Starfleet nerd like Archer. You had one of those, right?
Yes, and Big Starfleet Nerd is an accurate description.
Boy, they write the hell out of Vulcans on this show.
Ugh, stupid bog planets are the worst. They're just wet and cold and...
I like how she doesn't like anything about landing parties. Oh, they went to Paul. They went Dax.
You Kims okay?
Yeah, just a little soggy.
I like how the rest of the crew are Kims.
A human? What are you doing here?
We crashed because of your unprovoked attack.
Okay, well, who are you? Nice.
Stay here, guard the ship. I'll save the crew.
But Garrick, you're just a surgeon.
I am a surgeon, but not just.
I believe he was a former spy when he became a tailor on DS9. I'm sure I'm wrong.
Holy you're Lily Sloan!
Yeah? Have we met?
Boys, this is built the first warp drive with Zephram Cochrane, Lily.
Wait,
Oh, really? Okay, I know who she is.
We are on a mission of peace, exploring quantum realities to further our scientific knowledge.
this whole time, you weren't the bad guys. You were just a different type of Federation.
We've been stranded from our home dimensions chasing after you.
I believe she is telling the truth.
They don't like it when we talk.
Then they can let... Garrick!
Nice.
This is our doctor.
Then why is he trained in combat?
He's not just a doctor.
If you can help us repair our ship, I think we can get you home.
Kim Crew, roll out!
The two-pip Kim is more ambitious. I guess that's what we're supposed to be led to believe here, that he's not down with all this.
So these glow sticks are what you use to cross realities?
Yeah, unobserved complex gluon cores.
Well, you might want to observe a couple, because they're
I'd be happy to never hear the word multiverse ever again.
You and me both, buddy.
We go out into the galaxy and visit strange new worlds. The multiverse is just a rehash of stuff I already know.
You sound a lot like Zeph. It took him a minute to get it, too.
Uh-oh. We're gonna have a problem here with Kim.
I've met humans who've built rings around the sun. I've met others whose ships are the size of continents. I'm learning about what humans can be.
Cool.
Look at Mariner. Your friendship transcends realities. Trust like that is powerful stuff.
He's taking it. Sounds like they got Alfred Woodard to do that voice, too, for Sloan.
Keep going. This is how I relax. Calm down. Everybody's going to get their asses kicked.
Curzon, be careful!
Be careful? I mean, okay.
I'm taking you back to my universe where Harry Kims can rank up.
Hey, we didn't finish the repairs.
The Beagle can't maintain a fifth dimension without subspace gluons.
Oh, boy. This is why you never give Kim that second pip.
You are limping.
He's gonna die.
I should have stretched before that workout.
He's flying a bomb that could spread to all universes.
The death toll would be beyond measure.
Damn you, two-pip Kim!
Two-pip Kim.
Permission to try and juice the engines?
Granted.
My God, we're losing some integrity.
Impulse increased by 15%.
Woo!
The Beagle's falling apart.
Brace yourselves for a better life, Kims.
They're all gonna die.
Despite our increase in speed, we will not be close enough to intervene.
Gotta have to blow them up.
If I can increase the gravity around the warp core, it'll be a tachyon shield, and we can go as fast as you want.
But won't that crush you?
Let's pretend I'm the adventurous mariner from your reality who's okay risking it.
Oh, no.
Thought you could use a holographic hand.
Nice.
Curzon, warp us, now! Dax?
Stupid salamanders zapped me.
Get him to sickbay!
Go, Boimler.
Shut off the gravity!
Oh, right. Sorry.
Great episode. This is a really good episode.
I really don't care where we end up as long as we're together.
What? Then why have we been arguing?
Because it's fun.
No,
It's fun.
Nobody stops Harry Kim.
Except Harry Kim.
If that's what it takes, we don't want it.
Way to go, Kims. One pip Kims for the win.
I take no pleasure in seeing my friend perish.
Since when are we friends?
Since the day we met.
Oh, man.
Won't work without a host.
Then I must attempt to transfer your shared memories from Dax itself.
Oh, wow.
You want to know why you're all still ensigns? This is why. You don't deserve to come with me.
Good. That means only 2 Pip Kim needs to die.
I'm Harry f***ing Kim, and you don't get to order me around.
Skadoosh. Okay. Okay, massive quantum fissure.
That was more Katra than I had anticipated.
Wow.
I will protect and pass them on.
Maybe you're not so bad for a Vulcan.
Really good episode.
It's either one or all.
We need a reality that can respond to the threat. I know where to send it. Scan me. Use my reality.
What?
What?
I'm there. And so are you. And Tendi and Rutherford. I know they can figure out a solution.
Why would you do this to your friends?
He believes in him. That got me choked up.
I piggybacked a message to my duplicate. He'll know what to do.
Will he?
Yeah, as long as he doesn't freak out.
Holy f***, we're all gonna die!
Oh my word. Some good screaming, Jack. Some good screaming, buddy. All right, everybody, we just got done watching the 9th episode of the 5th and final season of Star Trek Lower Decks entitled FISSURE QUEST, and the only thing left to do is talk about it. All right, everybody, we just got done watching FISSURE QUEST, the 9th episode of the 5th season and final season of Star Trek Lower Decks. Every time I say that, I'm just hoping one of you out there said, boy, oh boy, wouldn't it be great if they said Lower Decks is over, but Middle Decks will be beginning next season as everybody ranks up. Let's keep that hope alive a little bit, that we'll see these characters again, and at least in some form or another. But, you know, like I said, in the moment, everybody, and this episode, FISSURE QUEST, was a really good one. I'm sure many of you out there that are DS9 fans really appreciated it because, you know, while I knew everybody that was it took me a second for, it's a Garrick, the Cardassian, but it was a very well done episode, really, really engaging. Bringing the characters, bringing in all the Harry Kims as basically the people that they found the most of. I thought that was very, very funny. And again, the most that I know of Harry Kim is popping up here in Lower Decks, mentioning and references and things like that. So, but again, with T'Pol, I've seen the entirety of Enterprise. So it was sort of like I really knew certain characters and I knew a little bit about the other ones, but it wasn't so much as the story itself was degraded for me. I think it was a very, very good story. Using kind of like an alternate reality as just exploration that was causing the fissures was a really cool idea, not making it like a nefarious, multiversal enemy. I think that was a cool little a swerve there to really kind of lend this one not so much as to a conflict as to what it looks like it's going to be a scientific resolution, which is my favorite thing. You know, in the end of every season, and I'm sort of worried about this, and I should say, in the end of a lot of seasons, the poor Cerritos is left absolutely smashed to the point where I sometimes question whether or not they would have even rebuilt the Cerritos, or we be in like the Cerritos A or C by now, you know, with like the panels being taken off, the nacelles being ripped off, all of that stuff. But I'm wondering now, like, do they really do this? I'm wondering, like, if all of our characters make it, which, oh my God, I hope we do. If we lose a character in the last episode, I'm going to be heartbroken. But what if we lose the Cerritos? I mean, I think the Cerritos' destruction is absolutely on the table. It's sort of like it would kind of harken back to almost the end of every other, season where the Cerritos has suffered these kind of catastrophic injuries or damage. And then to see her go out, I would actually be cool with that. I love the Cerritos. I think she's the greatest little support California class that there's ever been. But what better way to kind of end the series too with the Cerritos kind of being, I don't want to say the sacrificial lamb, but I'll say this. If it's between any of the characters and the Cerritos, I would rather the Cerritos, because I'm pretty sure that the Cerritos, if it goes out with this, type of honor death, then we'll see another version of the Cerritos at some point. But it was like I said, I think it's an interesting way to bring this season around, because we've had so much sort of conflict in the last 2 episodes. And just to recap for me, while I really enjoy space combat, I started watching Star Trek. I watched all the movies. I never watched the original series until I started watching it this year. I never watched a handful of all the other ones. I watched Enterprise from tip to tail. One of my buddies worked production in Enterprise and said, "You should watch this." And I did, and from tip to tail. And so, I'm really kind of catching up with Star Trek, and I've always loved it because I watched the movies as a kid and just loved the movies, loved the original crew. I saw the all the Next Generation movies except for the one with F. Murray Abraham. But throughout everything, even though I'm a huge fan of Wrath of Khan, which is, a lot of kind of centerpiece ship to ship combat stuff, it's not my favorite thing at all. If in Star Trek, I love to see the exploration, the problems that are solved, these massive, like, whether they be scientific problems or social, like political problems, or some type of, like conflict resolution in the form of a treaty. I just like seeing the crew, some type of repair that needs to be done, some planet that needs to be saved. That's my jam. I love that because I think that's Star Trek. I think that's Star Trek's wheelhouse is that feeling of exploration, discovery, and just making the galaxy better. And so the idea now that it looks like, at the very least, we're not going to have any, it just certainly doesn't look like we're going to have any type of conflict. We've had that a lot in the ending episodes of most of the seasons. Some type of like adversary that we're fighting against. I really, really like the idea that the adversary that we're fighting against is a phenomenon. It's not like, we don't have somebody sitting in a chair that's, twisting a mustache, getting ready to do something to us, or smoking a cigar like Picard season 3. They're ready to, which I've seen, they're ready to, tackle this problem. And I love that Bearded Boimler, or 5 o'clock Shadow Boimler, was, so confident in his Doppel and his Tendi and his Rutherford and his Mariner, that he was willing to send this problem to his universe and see if they could take care of it. That's a really cool strength of character for Boimler. Now, I know that our Boimler here, the duplicate clone, the transporter clone, we got the transporter clone Boimler, we've got bearded Boimler. So I probably crossed their mentioning there a little bit with the bearded Boimler and whatnot. But this is as close to our Boimler as we had, who's basically our Boimler with a different set of experiences from the teleportation accident or the transporter accident, forward, which shows that in a short period of time, even our Boimler, who was very close to William Boimler, could achieve chair status, and it's not like he's evil, and it's not like he's working with Section 31, and there was a lot of speculation that he was going to, mirror everything, and I'm glad they didn't go that route. Apparently, it seemingly didn't go that route, which is a really cool idea. If you start to think, oh, this is what's going to happen, or we're going to find this, or there's going to be an enemy, or there's going to be that leads us down the wrong path. So a resolution that is kind of counter all of that is a surprise, which is that's what every writer would want. Please don't guess my ending. Here's something that you didn't guess, that's the goal, really, of, narrative storytelling. And so they were able to really, in my opinion, I mean, what do you all think? I think this was a really cool resolution to this, to really kind of set up to the strengths of the Cerritos. And we've talked about this before, if there was ever some type of major league, like galactic, like sector level, alpha quadrant, beta quadrant, destroying threat, the Cerritos isn't going to be the one at the front lines. The Cerritos is going to maybe part of a, Starfleet fleet armada type thing to help combat this type of thing. But it'd be like a Wolf 359 type of incident, where it would be just them and a bunch of other ships going into it. I don't think we want to see that. What we want to see is the Cerritos, the little support craft that could, doing something that's in its wheelhouse that it could potentially stop without the aid of some capital ships, or some flagships, I should say, coming to the rescue or help. This is the time for the Cerritos to come to the rescue. This is the time for the Cerritos to do the saving of the day, and I think that they've set it up perfectly for that. And I love that. I love that we have that hope and that chance that now this is the true graduation right now. It's not the second pip, no matter what 2-Pip Kim says. It's not the second pip that makes our characters viable, heroic, any of that stuff. It's the actions that they're going to take in the next episode. That's when they show us. That's when we've had hints and examples of them being heroic and climbing the ranks, so to speak, with the second pip, and making advancements with, like the co-science leads that we have now in the Cerritos, and really growing beyond, their original season one kind of constraints. We have it absolutely going forward. They've been trained as much as they can be. They've been given as much as they can learn to this point. The practicing is over. It's time for the main event. And I get chills. I think that this is the moment that these 5 characters, and of course the command crew of the Cerritos, but specifically our lower deckers, this is their moment. This is the moment that everybody's going to be able to look back on and say, this is the moment where these 5 proved to the universe entire that they are not only worthy of promotion, of awards, of congratulations, of the chair. They deserve it. They deserve what this is where legends start. This is the once upon a time. If people look back from this point, they'll say, oh, well, there was evidence that they were going to be heroic before this. If you see this, this, and this. But this is the moment. This is the flag raise. This is it coming up where they tell everyone who they are. And friends, we already know it. But that's the beauty of being an audience member of Star Trek Lower Decks. We know it. We know they're ready. Do they know they're ready? And we certainly don't know how they're going to do it. But by God, I certainly hope that they do. The last thing I'll say before we leave this episode and prepare for the finale is this. That at the very top of the episode, they like to throw things in at the top of an episode and then give us a whole bunch of fun stuff, to make us sort of kind of forget about the thing at the top of the episode. And they do it very well. They're very good at it. But we had Rutherford's implant acting strangely, okay? And we had that like projection of plasma that came out of it. Something's up with that. You wouldn't throw that in there with a plasma blast. It's not supposed to, he says. Okay, so something's up with that. Whether or not that's something that we see in the finale, it's a red herring, it's something they wanted to get to, I don't know. But let's just put a pin in it, friends, and remember that whenever we get to episode 10. But all that's left, my friends, is the finale, which we will greet head on just like our lower deckers, and we will stand beside them to see this through. Friends, if you could do me a favor, hit that like button, smash that subscribe, ring that bell for notifications, and you'll be alerted next time we go live with Star Trek or any of our sci-fi fare. And of course, if there's anything that we do that you would like early or in its full-length format, the link to our Patreon is in the description. But my dear friends, all that is then. This is now, and now it's time to say goodbye. So where do we say goodbye from? Well, friends, for the last 2 episodes, spoiler alert, we're saying goodbye from the Cerritos because we're lower deckers. You are. I am. We're both lower deckers. All of us are lower deckers. Where is your position on the Cerritos? Where is your station? Where is your division? Where are you when this moment hits, this time, this apex moment in the evolution of the Cerritos? Because that's where we all stand together, Cerritos strong. Until we get to display what we've learned through these past 5 seasons, my fabulous crewmates, Vulcan roll, and I'll see you for the finale.